one of the things our people in our course have been asking for is examples, right? So give me a couple examples of the counterfactual, like, people you've met along the way who come in and they have an idea and they haven't considered all the other things that now, with a little bit more structure and training, can become a lot more hopefully effective in their organization and otherwise.
Yeah, I can lead. And the book is structured that way, Reza. So 2/3 of the book is the basics of an MBA with clinical examples, right? Shami mentions triage, and we think that has applicability, or how we communicate with patients, how that has applicability in translating that into the business world. The residual 1/3 is actually an anthology made up of successful clinical executives that have made the transition. So Kate Goodrich is in there, for example, who's the CMO of Humana, or Abhinal Shah, who was the prior Livongo CMO, and who's now over at RA Capital. So yeah, I'm happy to give you some examples. I have been in numerous conversations. There was one at DaVita 5 or 6 years ago, where the clinical group had decided that they really had this idea of something that could improve patient care, but would cost money in the short term. And they had worked on it, and then eventually they had to present it to the chief operating officer at the time, and ask for money. And so I got a call. They're like, "We'd like you to present it." And I said, guys, I haven't been involved in this conversation. Why do you want me to present it? They said, "Well, you're really good at speaking their language. So what you need to do is translate all of our clinical ideas into something that actually makes sense from a business perspective, and that you can pitch to the COO and see whether or not he's interested or not. And we'll be there to back you up, but we need you to be there, and we need you to be there to answer those questions." And so I did just that, and we got the money, and that's actually resulted in a very significant reduction in catheter-related bloodstream infections across the company, which people always point to. But that inability, or that recognition to have a clinical idea and translate it into something that can actually be funded, is a skill that many clinicians don't have. And kudos to the folks that recognized they didn't have that skill set, and they helped me translate that. But that's a practical example I could give you. Shari, would you have one?
Yeah, I think the ones that are interesting to me are, because I've always worked in companies that are creating products. And so there are some great scientists and clinicians in the companies that I've been in and the companies that I'm still affiliated with. But they'll have these great ideas, and they can't get them through a pipeline, even though it's really a great idea. Either they missed figuring out what the reimbursement was, or people didn't get buy-in because they didn't see how significant it was,